Alright, so Big Red. This is a mostly red control deck that's playing Thoughtseize here for some disruption against combo and control decks. We've got some Maulings as extra modal land spell cards, as well as some hard removal. And then we've got powerful flyers like Rekindling Phoenix and Glorybringer to close games out quickly, as well as help us stabilize the board. We're leaning on planeswalkers like Chandra, Karn, and Heart of Fire here to generate card advantage. And then we've got 6 2-mana ramp spells here that allow us to cast these pieces of top end ahead of curve. So, this, as you can see here, we're trying a bunch of double-faced cards in this deck. So we've got Shatterskull, Mauling, Valakut Awakening, and Spikefield Hazard. So we'd played this deck pre-Zendikar a number of times, and it felt pretty consistently reasonable. So I'm interested to see which of these spell lands feel good. I think there's a good chance, so like, I've kind of gone off the deep end. We're only playing 16 actual lands here. So I think there's a chance that we might want to get the actual land count up to closer to like 18 to 20, but I want to start high and then scale it back after playing with them for a little bit. So let's jump on in and play some games and see how it feels. Evening, Sinister Simic. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Sinister Simic is an apt username for the last year or so of Magic. Hey, Ben Cos, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this looks good. Definitely playing Valakut Awakening on one. This deck wants to hit its first, like, 6 to 7 mana sources basically every game. So your early land spells are basically always going to be lands, unless you are super flooded or, like, they're going to help you stay alive. I was a Simic mage long before Simic became degenerate. God bless. Evening, Dwight. Yeah, I've liked the split schedule. For people that have been by my content before, if you're still hanging out from when Day 9 hosted, I've been streaming full-time on Twitch for going on 3 years now, but generally speaking, I've always streamed during the day. The extraordinary circumstances through which we are currently living through has me streaming in the evenings for half my schedule now, because I have 3 small children, 2 of which are doing remote learning by day. So I'm doing a shorter stream in the morning so I can be available in the afternoons to help them with classwork. 5 and 6-year-olds need help staying on task, believe it or not. And again, I think I'm just playing this tapped here so I can guaranteed have 5 next turn for these. Censor me, daddy. I think I want to lead on Glorybringer here. So Chandra, Heart of Fire in this deck, if you look at the deck list, her ultimate doesn't really do anything. We're largely playing Chandra to +1 her to discard her hand and draw 3 cards. So generally speaking, when you're sequencing your threats with her, she's going to be the last card we play out because we want our hand to be empty so she can basically draw 3 cards every turn. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. Yes, with only 16 lands in our deck, Chandra should Chandra should brick quite less frequently, which is great. So they have a counterspell available here. The question is, what do I want to shove into it? Probably just another dragon. And then the nice part here is they're going to counter this, but Glorybringer will hit this to 1. And then next turn it'll go to 2 and we can kill it with Stomp. So that's at least decent. And then maybe if Chandra resolves, she can drag us across the finish line. Maybe. I do think especially game 1, the control matchup tends to be hard for our deck. Because we have a lot of cards that don't have a lot of text, like Abrade.
We need to move quickly.
Opponent accrues more virtual card advantage in this matchup than we do. Would love to draw an untapped land next turn, so that way we can Stomp and Heart of Fire. My opponent's shown me Syncopate, so I'm going to lead on Chandra, so that way if they have Syncopate, she doesn't get Syncopate, because if I Stomp first and then Chandra, they could Syncopate her, so. This is worse against Dovin's Veto, which we've seen one of each already. If I get Spell Pierced here, I'm going to be real sad. Hey, Barkaton, thank you for the entire year support. Let's get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around.
Meditate and prepare.
They are, in fact, playing multiple Syncopates. This is definitely a matchup where not having Mobilized District in our mana base is a little painful. And then I think Teferi's probably going to slide us into garbage time here. I'm going to take one draw step to see if we find a 6-mana Chandra, but if we don't find her like exactly this turn, we're pretty unlikely to win. Just going to go ahead and go to the postboard game. To bring in a bunch of extra Planeswalkers for card advantage. Get to trim some of our narrow creature removal. I think I can trim all the Maulings. Trimming at least one of them seems good. Try this out. I think with the higher virtual land count now, so like I have 16 lands. This is 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I can afford to cut Guardian Idol here. I don't think accelerating is super important in this matchup. We rather want to try and increase my higher individual cards. Yeah, Winota is banned in Historic, but not banned in Standard. Can we unban Winota for the open? No. So my plan with doing modified ban lists on occasion for the Historic Opens is I don't ever intend to unban things, because by only banning things, the decks in the tournament are all technically legal in normal Historic. So obviously some of them will be less powerful or worse positioned against some of the things that we're banning, but I don't want to like have decks that wouldn't be legal on the ladder. Metzler Hassan, thank you for the 31 months. Welcome back. It's a long time. I appreciate it. Yeah, 3 land, 6 spell hand. Sign me up. I'll play Mauling tapped on 1. Evening, Blet. Yeah, I've been enjoying the evening streams too. I think I might need to push back the start time of my morning stream a bit. I've had what's it called? I've had 8:30 a.m. as my scheduled start time, and doing the evening stream is making it harder to wake up to do that in time. I've been late starting at like 8:45, 9 most of the time, so I think I might push my scheduled morning start time back to 9 next week. I think we just continue to take their actual threats here. Especially with Awakened Inferno that gets to get cast through Syncopate. Can you play banned cards in direct challenge best of 3? Yeah, technically. To give credit where credit is due, Therabrae, my wife works for a large company in corporate America, and they've been very understanding for their employees that have kids and stuff during everything that's going on. It's a step on this at least here. Now, they are playing Bant, so life gain from Uro could definitely let my opponent survive Chandra's emblems here. But getting her here on 6 is, like, pretty good, he says before getting Aether Gusted. Alright, it's fine. We'll try again next turn. Corporate America pays me money to give to Jeff. God bless. My wife's corporate America job is also in large part why this is able to be my job. Because I would definitely not be able to afford health insurance for a family of 5 as an independent contractor in the United States. Hey, evening, Rhino. Yeah, we're running a little late. We're going to run a little bit later than normal tonight because I had an awesome host from day 9. Opponent was feeling the heat from the Chandra there, it looks like. Speaking of raids, hey Seth. Hope you had a good stream tonight. I appreciate it. Hanging out playing some Historic here, trying out some of the modal dual-faced cards in red splash black control. Again, looking excellent. We're playing 16 actual lands and then like a dozen of these split cards. So Mauling on 1 here again into Thoughtseize on 2. It looks great. With that draw, we play Slough on 1, right? Might end up playing this on 2 anyways. We'll see. Well, we can never beat Ulamog in a million years, so we're going to Thoughtseize that one. Oh yeah, congrats on winning the Invitational too, Seth, if you're still here. Your four main deck, your 4 copies of main deck Aether Gust were genius. Alright, Dovin's Veto this one. Thanks. Dovin's Veto this one, he says before getting absorbed. We didn't get absorbed. That's great. Scry me a river, baby. Ulapog, that's a good one. I have to remember that one. Pulapog is a hungry boy. So they need to find cards that play to the board at this point, or that fill their graveyard. If they fill their graveyard, obviously, the Titans of Nature's Wrath could get us here.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Hold that thought.
Well, we're definitely killing that. So the nice thing about Rekindling Phoenix is we get to continue extending into a sweeper, because these things make eggs and come back. Did Uro get banned? Technically no. They did their pre-announcement. They did their typical bans are coming. Alright, we really want this to not be a card that goes to the graveyard this turn. If they escape Uro this turn, we're gonna have a bad time. They have Wrath of God and escape Uro. Gross. Why give a lead time? Yeah, because they're not... Yeah, because they're wizards. Alright, so my birds get to trade for Uro here, and then they're out of cards in their discard pile. So we got that going for us. They draw like Wrath of God here and are gonna kill my eggs. Is that why they took this trade? They scryed top. I wouldn't be surprised to see something that kills my eggs here. Oh, Tamio just refills the graveyard. Okay. That makes sense. I kind of want to draw an untapped land next turn so I can Chandra plus Stomp. You can see the one I've already targeted pulled up in the graveyard there. Really good UI design. Perfect. So they don't have Dovin's Veto available to them. So we can go Stomp this. And then we can go Chandra. Shoot your face. And then Chandra and these Phoenixes might let us outgrind this Uro. They are convinced that Chandra and the Phoenixes are going to outgrind the Uro. Okay. Chandra drawing 3 per turn is really strong. Definitely lets you keep up with a lot. I really appreciate Magic Arena. It's been a long time since I've been to a restaurant in person. So like the fact that Magic Arena can emulate the experience of a busy restaurant, letting us wait for servers constantly, is great. Really trying to give us that physical connection that many of us have lost in the recent months. Alright, so I don't have a black source in this hand, but I technically have 4 mana sources, so I think that's fine. We'll like tapped into these, and then hopefully get a black source eventually for this. Have like a piece of early interaction if they're an aggro deck. We've got these if they're controlling. All right, and like this, I love these double lands, these double-sided lands. I think it's right to lead on this because this might be useful if there's something aggressive. Yep. Okay, so I think we definitely just Abrade that. Before they can get card advantage with it. Jiminy, thank you for keeping on with that tier 1 sub. Welcome back. It's actually the first time we played against goblins tonight, huh? Yeah, we had a couple of really awesome raids. Both Manfield and D9 raided us this evening. Which has also kind of been a nice benefit to the night streams. Like, because I stream in the morning, I've hosted and raided lots of different people, but there usually aren't too many creators that would, like, go live before me in the mornings. So getting the boost on the backswing kind of has been sweet. Don't show me double Muxus. I don't have another black source, chat. I don't have another black source. And they have two prospectors too. That's fine. We'll board in a bunch of Grafdigger's cages. It'll be okay. Maybe they'll miss, chat. They only get to look at 6 cards. He said optimistically. Sounds about right. Alright, so Sweltering Suns, easy in, Heartless Act, Grafdigger's Cage, Chandra, Awakened Inferno, sweeps the board up, Heart of Fire is slow, Karn is slow. This is an all Doomblades on deck matchup, I think. Valakut Awakening, I think, is the spell land we cut. If I'm cutting some of my pieces at top end here, I think I can cut some ramp. I'm, like, bringing in a bunch of pieces of cheap removal, so, like, that's fine. I think I can trim a Thoughtseize here. I generally don't want to draw multiple of them, and with the cage, I have more ways to cover Muxus, so I think that's fine. Let's try this. Yeah, this is good, right? Well, bottom Spikefield Hazard. We get to go 2, 3, 4. Run the goblins out the door. 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually think White's time is coming, at least in Standard and maybe Historic. The new Maul card that they printed is, like, really good. The Skyhammer Maul that gives 2/2 first strike flying and auto-equips. Card is quite excellent. Yeah, I really love the design of equipments attaching themselves. Alright, if they have Muxus, they have Muxus. Just gonna go ahead and get on the board here. Bonecrusher Giant isn't super appealing to stomp with here because they have Skirt Prospector to sacrifice whatever I target, which means I don't get to go on an adventure. It's also not particularly resource efficient to use the Bonecrusher this turn. Hopefully they're missing a third land. That would be ideal. Interesting. So I kind of want to draw an untapped land here so I can, like, Shatterskull, the Prospector, and the Rekindling Phoenix. Or Shatterskull, the both Prospectors. Well, I guess if they cast this other one off the top of their deck for a... Yeah, maybe I just kill the Prospectors here. I think that's probably the play. Just does X divided as we choose. I drew a tap land here as well, so that's nice. So we'll do 2, 1 to each of these. And we'll attack you for 4, play a tapped land, and then we have them dead in 2 in the air with these. Evening Blue. Yeah, if you're someone that's not familiar with my updated schedule, I'm live from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time every weeknight now. Doing a bit of a split schedule in the brave new COVID world. Well, poop. Glad we killed the prospectors, I guess. How good is the rogue deck? The rogue deck set was actually really great. Had a lot of fun and deck felt powerful. I think we do this, and this way, if Muxus doesn't kill me, I can kill them with another dragon or a Bonecrusher next turn. Cross your fingers, clench your butt cheeks, chat. Stimulating, engaging, non-gambling gameplay. Sounds about right. God bless. Oh, yeah. There's a reason why that card's not going to be legal on the 3rd. Oh, magic. The old full Monty Buck says. He's a scary boy, chat. That's a good question. Cyrix is confused if that was good or bad. Are there any goblin experts in chat that can let me know if my opponent's Muxus was good there? I'm uncertain myself. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I played. Oh, they thought erasured our land. Oh. Whew. Saved by the top deck. Saved by the top deck. All right. All right, that's something we gotta play around that next time, chat. We need to play around the thought erasure your land from now on. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna stomp their face, so if we draw another untapped land, we can play a giant. Sometimes lucky, I suppose. Sometimes. Thought they played Watery Grave, and my mind didn't even go there. It definitely should have gone there, chat. Here's to a Muxus-free historic and more dual-face cards. Ain't that the truth? Thanks for the 31 months, Lurking Blade. If we hit running lands 4 to 6 here and get to play Awakened Inferno in 3 turns, we might be in this game. Might. Keyword there being might. Okay, that resolved. That's nice.
Let's skip to the good part.
Alright, they have cooked our egg, chat. Land, please. Yeah, I agree, Spiffinex. And like, so I wrote a justification article talking about why I banned the 3 cards I banned in Art Next Historic Open. And I think Goblins is likely still a competitive deck, even without that card. What's going on, Telaria? Good evening, and thank you for the 46 months. You registered to vote today. Thank you for doing your civic duty, Jace. If you are someone sitting at home and you are not certain if you are registered to vote, you can check very quickly. The elections this fall are in less than 2 months. Make sure you're registered to vote. I'd also encourage you to vote out fascists this fall, but I can't follow you into the ballot box to make you do that, but at the very least, do your civic duty. Alright, so I think again, we're trimming Guardian Idols because I just want higher average card quality post-board. I'm going to trim a Mauling because I don't really have that many creatures. Need one more cut here, just a Bonecrusher Giant. So one thing I would like to talk about is I think the culture around bans in Magic is really unhealthy. The Magic community is the only card game community I've ever been a part of where making formats better faces such backlash. Like, in Runeterra, I played Hearthstone, I've played other smaller games. When they, like, ban or modify cards, it's usually met with excitement and understanding. Whereas, like, in Magic, people are like, oh, this is some colossal failure. And I really think that, like, bans should be viewed as a tool, and they should be something that should be used to make the game better, as opposed to, God bless you, Thoughtseize bug. They shouldn't be like, I would rather the development team take risks and occasionally have to ban something rather than play it safe and churn out lame designs. Now, that being said, I don't think Wizards' reaction time is frequently good enough, but I think the direction of what they're doing with, in general, trying to push the envelope of what they can do with Magic is a good thing. That is, in fact, the Telaria Community College. In the flesh, so to speak. Let's grab a Thoughtseize here and poke at their hand, huh? Evening, D20 Bandit. As you will. Start with this.
You may regret that choice.
Yep. This seems great for me. This is why we attacked before casting Phoenix here. Probably cycling Mind Stone at this point. Don't really need 7 mana. Just need to get to 6 for our big Chandra. Karn really providing some excellent Karn advantage this game. Getting on board and just providing a second card draw every single turn. I'm happy with how we boarded. Opponent didn't have too many threats that game, and our Thoughtseizes plus Karn advantage was enough to pull us through. So, I'm not in love with the idea of mulliganing too much against decks like my opponent. Gosh, all of the reads this evening. What's going on, Ollie? I guess we're up kind of late. Thanks for, hope you had a good stream. Hope you're feeling better too. Saw your post on Twitter. So I think in this matchup, the Spikefield Hazard is obviously the least likely of our spell lands that we're likely to cast the spell part on, so I let on that. I don't think I'm going to end up cycling this too, so might as well just get it into play tapped now. Is Karn included for the artifact token flexibility? Yeah, basically. Also, like, Karn doesn't kill you, which, like, Phyrexian Arena is a real concern. I'd also encourage you to look at my mana base. Casting Phyrexian Arena consistently on turn 3 is not something we're going to do. I know, like, I say that while I have double black in play on turn 3, but this is the exception, it's not the norm. I believe we only have, like, 14 black sources in the deck or so. The ideal amount to cast a black spell consistently on 3 is closer to 18. Yeah, we're also a basically no life gain control deck. We have, like, Vraska's Contempt out of the board, but that's it.
I know what must be done. I'm not ready for you quite yet.
Alright, so they know about my land and my banger here, so... Definitely just running Teferi down here.
Let me know if you're up for round 2.
It's a real banger of a card, chat. I assume we're going to lose our other threat here. I guess I could take Contempt depending on what their hand looks like. That's fair. Huh? Well, I wasn't going to deploy another dragon, I don't think, to play around a sweeper, but with a third banger entering the hand, I think I'm going to hold on to the Shatterskull Smashing for now. This does hit Planeswalkers, so can be useful here. I think I go ahead and play Rekindling Phoenix here, because it's harder to answer. So it's because this is harder to answer with removal, I'd like to prioritize resolving it while my opponent doesn't have counter magic up. Getting it into play also plays around Thoughtseize, which is nice. He's dead, Jim. Yeah, I agree, Blood. Having lots of 4-power flyers feels real good. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that land in case we draw a second copy of Valakut Awakening there. Shatterskull should hit the face. I don't know about that one.
Sorry I'm late.
So I get to tuck in Rekindling Phoenix here.
Keep up the pace.
Really? This is a good draw. Seven mana Hero's Downfall.
Stop that now. Hold that thought.
They can't answer this. Rekindling Phoenix is worth a lot of their cards, so if this kills Teferi, we're definitely still in this game. Really looking to draw Chandra here. The classic getting flooded in our 16 land deck. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 10 more actual lands in 43 cards here. Just pretty sick. Wow, if they can't kill this egg, that's huge. Phoenix is so good. Please die, Teferi. The flooding won't matter if you die. Thank goodness. You mean only 10 more lands? Now only 9 lands left. Are we saving those for Awakening? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, this land hurts me. I think I'll hold lands that don't hurt me. But, like, getting this into play is good with Chandra, too. So it's definitely not worth attacking here. If I attack, they get a hit in for 4, and they gain 2 back. So it's just, like, not a good exchange. It's not a race we're winning. Secrets manifest before you.
This isn't my first time being me. I do love a good puzzle.
So Ugin's gonna get to down tick on Teferi. He said before his opponent played a Baneslayer Angel. And then, you know, this is better than a mountain, right? This is gonna get to kill Teferi Master of Time. So this is gonna go up to 5, and then we get to Spikefield Hazard to kill him. So they get to kill my Planeswalker 2 here, but that's fine. Well, that's not fine, but it is what it is.
Hone your prowess.
Azcanta is terrifying. This card flips over and draws a lot of cards. I really need to find a Chandra 6. Chandra 5 is actually pretty good too. She draws 3 cards a turn. To kill their lifelinker here. Alright, dual decks, Rekindling Phoenix versus Search for Azcanta go. They have a lot of mana here with this card, so I think we're behind at this point. Not if they hit like that. This card costs 3 mana. Man, that's great. Just 3 mana on turn 80. That's phenomenal. They have 29 cards in library. We have 36. It's been a long game.
I know what must be done. Keep up the pace.
It would be nice if this card was Hero's Downfall. Guess who's got 2 thumbs and is gonna kill his own Rekindling Phoenix? This guy. Just like, damn it, Magic. There are so few actual lands in my deck.
Let's skip to the good part.
Alright, so there goes the egg. Really, really need Chandra 6, chat. We are 25 cards into our deck without one of our 3 Chandra 6s. Could potentially get us back into the game. Oh, right, they get to just Azcanta again. Alright, I think we're dead now. Like I said, when the Azcanta flipped, I think that was the point where we were behind, and then, like, half of our draws into our deck that's, like, only a quarter lands have been lands, so... So, I'm actually taking Standard off my schedule until their format update on Monday. Eladin. They lame ducked it again. Alright, that'll do. So, little bit of resource variance catching up with us there in the end, but not a whole lot you can do about that. So far, the land spell split cards have been good. Evening Thibs. Opponent is playing Yorion the Sky Nomad. It's usually an Esper deck in this form, right? I guess it could be an Omnath Lotus Cobra deck too. Some kind of greedy deck though, almost assuredly. Hey, blue is the color. Thanks for the sub gifties, I really appreciate it. You're staying safe out there. Beware Thought Erasure, yep. Alright, looks like an Ur deck. Let's make sure there's no more secrets between us. We just take Cultivate here. I have lots of ways to kill the Lotus Cobra. Hey, good games, Lucas. Yeah, I played it out there a little bit at the end. The Azcanta really buried me. Definitely, it makes it pretty easy to pull ahead. It's possible that I should have taken the Growth Spiral instead of the Cultivate there. Just because Growth Spiral cantrips and Cultivate only gets mana, so Growth Spiral could potentially turn into a threat here. Hapola Takar, thanks for the 7 months, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Probably just Stomp here as opposed to Abrade. Now we're gonna kill that. I leave them Lotus Cobra and plan to double spell to kill this. Maybe I should have kept one of the Maulings. Very possible. I played both of those out as lands. Oh, I guess I could have played this out as one of them. So I say I really want to get to 5 next turn. There he is, the Elder, the Giant, the Legend. Alright, don't counterspell me, please. Uro is too format defining, so we'd like to unban Oko to keep it in check. That's like a Galaxy Brain level play.
It's now or never.
Unfortunately, cannot kill a 6/6. The good news is we should get to draw another card with Chandra next turn, so we've got that going for us.
That's gonna leave them.
They're digging for a second red for this to bury us. Chandra plus Exert kills Uro. Yeah, I think you're right that I want to draw though.
Use them or lose them.
It is definitely an above average 3 magic cards.
I awaken.
Alright, did do a removal spell here, but that's fine. I agree. I really hope if they decide to ban this card in Standard on Monday, they also ban it in Historic like they did some of their other bannings recently. So this lets Banger kill that. So that's nice. Okay.
Like I think they
Evil cannot withstand a righteous arm.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army. Register to vote. Vote blue. Vote.org. November 3rd's coming up quick, champ. Feel like I'm probably not playing around Wrath the God out of their deck. They have a lot of creatures. But Jeff, it's still March. That's true. I mean, yeah, this game's really showing the power of Chandra, right? I think if voting blue makes you sad, I would encourage you to check out some of the more specifics of Biden's campaign platform, including the details about climate change. His platform regarding climate change is actually quite reasonable. Or dare I even say good?
Your not being on fire problem.
A curious choice.
Do you like the part where I used a 6-mana spell to exile their card that had drawn them multiple cards that I already killed? Did you like my 6-mana exile your Uro, chat? And gained them a decent amount of life. Yep. All right, they're making some cats. I think there is no reason other than FUD and propaganda to think that Biden isn't capable of serving out his full term. I think I'd encourage you to watch Biden's town hall that he did recently, where he was standing for a good majority of it too.
You know, I'm gonna do what feels right.
So probably just starting with attacks here, huh? Think that's the play?
Stay back. I'm an
These aren't elementals, right? They're can't bees. I was like, I should have checked that before we did anything.
my way. You know.
Are you certain of your decision?
It turns out drawing 4 cards a turn lets you overcome Uro, chat. I don't know if that's a scientific line that we can draw in the sand, but so far in my experiences, Chandra Heart of Fire tends to beat Uro. So about 4 cards per turn is what you need. I didn't notice the FUD command. That's great. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's how you earned your timeout. Take a quick break, ponder mistakes before you start to shout. Before you again start to shout. That's great. That's small claps for whoever. I don't know which mod made that one, but God bless you. Thanks for the third of a year, Crayon. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right. What are we boarding out here? Definitely want my Chandras for the reason why Chandra just showed her strong back. Vraska's Contempt sounds excellent for exiling Uro for less than 6 mana. I need ways to be able to kill Lotus Cobra consistently, so I don't think I want to board out Spikefield or Bonecrusher. Abrade can probably trim. Act kills Uro and Cobra. That's true. I just trim Guardian Idol to drag my curve down again. Kind of don't mind doing that when I get more interactive post board. Alright, let's try this. Oh yeah, it kills that girl creature. That's a good one. The 5-drop. Does anyone know anything on more stimulus coming? No legislation has been passed on that, J-Tibbs. Last I heard, the Senate Republicans couldn't agree on what they wanted to bring to the table between them and the White House, because the White House and the Senate Republicans have to agree on something, and then they bring whatever they agreed upon to the Democrats to negotiate from there. I mean, they were never going to pass the bill from the House. The House is like you know, what the Dems would do if they had full control of everything, which would be very generous and good for people because they care about actual people. But, like, the Republicans can't even agree amongst themselves, so nothing's getting passed. I mean, there's been, like, hundreds of pieces of legislation that have passed the House that just sit on McConnell's desk and die. That's the one thing to me, so that was one of the things to me that broke talking to family members of mine that always claimed to be about work ethic. I always heard a lot of growing up how important it was to have a good work ethic, and the way that people could justify the Senate Republicans just not voting on bills that came to their desk is just, like, wild.
The choices we make reveal who
Like, it would be one thing if the Republicans in the Senate were, like, voting down legislation that they didn't like the details of, but they're literally just not casting ballots on it, which means they're just sitting there not doing their jobs.
what was lost is now returned.
That's true. That's exactly why they do it, J-Ray. Voting down key pieces of legislation makes it harder for Republicans in close states to get reelected. So they do it for political reasons, obviously. Like, I understand why they're doing it. It's just, to me, I always heard from people growing up that I was taught to respect that, like, oh, like, working is important, and, like, normally those people not doing their job would matter to these people if they were logically consistent, but they're not logically consistent. They're just bigots who always vote for people with R next to their name and do mental gymnastics to jump through justifying whatever they do regardless of whether or not it's consistent with what they believe or not. Alright, so we get to Chandra, an uptick for an emblem here, which means when my opponent escapes Uro next turn, JK, LOL, Aethergust. Oh, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub, I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. God bless America, my country, 'tis of thee. And actually, I messed up my sequencing here, so I should have Karn upticked before Chandraing there because of Aethergust, because I don't want a Karn uptick now, because if I Karn uptick now, they could kill my card and then my Chandra's gone. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, when I said unapologetically liberal / progressive, I meant it. Yeah, completely agree, Niv. Could not agree more on the Justin Amash comment. So I would love to find an untapped land here. Rats. So I think we basically have to kill Lotus Cobra. So I think we Chandra -1 here, because I do want to get her into play. If we would have hit an untapped land there, I could have plussed Chandra and then use the Spikefield Hazard to kill this, but I want to be resource efficient this turn and get Chandra into play, but it's also important that I kill their thing. Okay, want to put a bunch of lands into play. Whoa, that was a big tip from Rhino. Thank you. Ooh, where's my dashboard at? If I send you my Vengevine like Uro Historic deck, can you play it before banning? Yeah, definitely, Rhino. In fact, that donation will get you to the top of the Historic queue, right? Yeah, so we're gonna play Historic tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, so I can do it either of those, wherever you'd prefer. For people that are new to the channel too, for donations, a lot of the decks that I play here on stream are viewer submissions, like Rhino just generously did there. $50 is a little bit more than what I asked for to submit a deck. It's a $25 donation to get your Magic Arena deck played on stream at some point in the future, and you can learn details about that up on my website. Fisher Swamp, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, this looks fine. Like Canyon Slough on one. I think I want to Slough on one. If they like Thoughtseize my Thoughtseize, I'm going to be sad. But I think in the dark, in case they're an aggro deck, I'd rather go tapped land into Thoughtseize second tapped land. Definitely just taking their threat. Our opponent's been hurt by Thoughtseize before, chat. You know what? You should play Magic for fun. And listen, as someone who's conceded to just about that much before, like, they're not making me play against blue-white. They don't have to play against Thoughtseize. Everybody won there, chat. Everybody won. There were no losers in that match of Magic. I don't have to play against Hallowed Fountain. They don't have to play against Thoughtseize. God bless us, everyone. This deck is really cool. Yeah, I think our archetype's sweet. So this deck that we're playing right now is one of the many historic decks that you can find up on my website. I'm going to update the variation of it there with these spell lands after this session is done. Have really loved how the spell lands slot into this deck. Feels really trim. Hey, Lavin. Thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we've got a 6 spell, 3 land hand here, so definitely a keep. Little bit slow because a bunch of our lands are tapped, but I think that's fine. They're playing Yorion, so it's probably some kind of greedy pile. We'll lead on this tapped, and then we'll go Thoughtseize plus Awakening tapped on 2, I think. The Omnath skin is very good. I agree. They do a pretty good job with cosmetics in this game. I feel like I would be pretty surprised if they banned Omnath. I feel like the people that are asking for Omnath bans are kind of unreasonable. I feel like people have just been so hurt by Uro, like anything that looks close to the same text box, people are attacking now. So sequencing on my artifact mana there is pretty important. So you'll note that this one comes into play untapped, this one does not. So gotta go this into this. Actual factual 6 mana Shark Typhoon. Yeah, I guess that's a thing, huh? I'm gonna put this into play tapped with Karn here. I might end up Valakut Awakening to draw cards. Thanks for the entire year, Monjoey. Charlie Kelly, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Yeah, I don't think we can beat this card, right? How did the spell end? They've been excellent. They are the single best addition to Magic the Gathering since I started playing this game almost 20 years ago. They are great. I am not playing Bedevil, but even if we were, that doesn't answer Art of Enchantments. Yeah, our deck, generally speaking, does not beat Ugin. That is accurate. This is our one way to kill enchantments in the 75. This is about how I've been boarding. Yeah, there's a new black card that kills enchantments, but I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's a card you're really super interested in playing a lot of the time. Feed the Swarm. I think if there were a lot of enchantments I cared about killing in this format, I would just play like a second and third Ugin. Ugin's better at that job. Sure. Really, Chandra's okay. That's a good draw. I get to play this on turn 3 now. Is there a deck queue command? I can see the command while still watching the stream. I'm on mobile. If you could open a web browser while still watching the stream, yeah, there's a deck queue up on my website. You just click stream deck queue. You can get to it. Yeah, I know Android does picture-in-picture really well. I think we're doing this, and then just playing another 4-3 out here to pressure them. I use picture-in-picture a lot on my Android. Alright, well I think this is a game where we can probably beat the Shark Typhoon, huh? Wow, they gave me Blood Crypt. It's a big mistake. Do I Thoughtseize Uro? Hey, True Calc, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. I think I Thoughtseize Uro, huh? That greedy? I think I'm gonna kill them before this Ugin matters, right? I could just take the Ugin. I mean, I'm attacking them to 4 here, chat. I could just take the Ugin. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Ugin. I think that could go a couple ways. I think we're probably good here regardless of what we take because of the Chandra and our board presence, but we'll see. Ugin's definitely a card that kills us, so. Sure. Tabs Unite, thank you for the 1.5 years of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I love Awakened Inferno. She's so sweet. Both these Chandras are excellent. They're the best part about playing this archetype. I'm happy with how we boarded. Did we miss lethal by not stopping? Yes, but that was way less sweet. It's a good call, though. We need both the cards in their hand. We could just kill them with stomp. Hands like this make me think that maybe cutting my other 2-mana pieces of ramp is wrong. Because, like, getting to go 3-4 is real good here. have enough lands here that we're going to save this as a removal spell, I think. Shame they have a basic island. Yeah, I probably should have mulliganed this hand. It just didn't do anything fast enough on the draw. Yeah, we're gonna completely run away with it. It is a very pretty Omnath that's about to kill us. The COVID day command is very funny. I agree. What day is it? It is currently Blur's Day, March 206th, 2020. Sounds about right. I think I like the changes we made to this. Honestly, so like, when we did the deck building at the start of this set, I was kind of expecting to get to the end of it and think to myself, okay, we put too many spell lands in the deck. But honestly, they felt kind of reasonable. Like, we're at 16 actual lands, and then we had how many here? 8, 10, 13 spell lands. I kind of felt like this was a pretty good mix of things. The Chandras continue to impress. Yeah, I think I'm gonna update the list on my site verbatim to be this list. So normally I update deck lists on my website. If you haven't seen that before, you haven't seen this before with just like theory crafted type stuff too when new sets come out. But these spell lands are just like so new that I don't know what heuristics they translate to, like to guarantee that like these many spells should cut for these many spell lands, these many lands should cut for these many spell lands. Of course, so made me. So I think I definitely want to get some practice in with some of the decks up there. I'm going to make a point to play some more of the decks from the site on stream so we can try the spell lands out in them and get them updated accordingly, I think. Although I might add this into the aggressive decks without testing it, because this is a pretty easy card to play. All right, at any rate, for folks that are new, thanks for hanging out from my stream earlier today. If you're new to the channel and enjoyed it, everything I stream gets archived on my YouTube channel. I do two to three Magic decks a day usually. Also play some Legends of Runeterra and some other variety stuff. I'm live every morning and every evening. So I'm going to be signing off for the night, but I'll be back again tomorrow morning. Before I sign off for the night, I'm going to collect a couple of dollar dues playing an ad though. So I appreciate everybody that hangs out for another 60 seconds. If you want to help me out,